People get stuck all the time. People are constantly saying, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I feel lost, I feel lost, I feel lost. I used to be this person, and it wasn't until recently where I literally found the self-mastery in how to never feel stuck, and I'm going to explain in this video exactly why. And the first thing that we want to start on is actually understanding what stuck means, okay? You could have this repetitive pattern of just saying, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, and going in this vicious cycle of feeling lost, then suddenly finding clarity, but that clarity seems to only be temporary before you suddenly lose that momentum and then you find yourself stuck again. This can be in your entrepreneurial journey, it can be in life in any capacity, and it can be very confusing, to say the least. So let's dive in, and you can also manifest while you're in this space of feeling stuck. So don't let all these other people tell you that, oh, you can only manifest when you're thinking good vibes, or you can only manifest when you're feeling positive, because I have manifested my soulmate from a negative energy. I've manifested this home from a negative energy. I manifest some of the amazing stuff in my life from a very, very negative, dark, energetic space, right? And I'm going to share more about that in, obviously, more videos to come. But for this video, I just want you to know that you can manifest from both positive and negative, and the reason behind this in another video. But for now, stuckness. If you've clicked on this video, then you are obviously stuck in something or some position in your life, right? You could be trying to manifest something and then you're stuck. You could be trying to build a business and you're stuck. You could be trying to manifest a soulmate or whatever it is. You can get unstuck, and I'm going to show you why and how. So, if we dive into what is stuck first and foremost. Stuck is simply, actually, you know what, I'm going to take over the board a bit more. Let's go to, stuck stands for your subconscious triggers, your subconscious triggers your unconscious plus your conscious knots. Your subconscious mind, this is what stuckness is. This is literally what's happening when you are saying, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, okay? Your subconscious is basically triggering your unconscious and your conscious knotting. Now, when I say knotting, you have in your mind, right? I'm going to draw the brain. My brain is a cloud because I cannot draw. But anyway, this is the mind, okay? So within the brain, at the bottom here, you have your conscious brain. And I'm going to put a 10% here. In the middle up here, you have your actually to not confuse you, we'll put unconscious, and this is 90%. And then here we've got the superconscious, but we're not going to dive into that here at the moment because this is all residing. Anyway, we use, majority of the time, these two brains. This is literally where we're pulling in our information. This is where we're manifesting from 24/7, right? But when we do affirmation work, when we do meditations, when we do all of that kind of stuff, we are only pulling from this conscious 10%. So when we are saying affirmations every day in the mirror and your manifestation is not coming through, it's because you're only using 10% of your brain power. If you are not doing unconscious work, subconscious work, and if you don't know what this 90% consists of, that in itself results in this stuckage, first of all, right? Because your unconscious place, and like I said, stuckness is simply your subconscious triggering your unconscious and conscious knots. Everything that's knotted up, when they are being triggered by something that you are not aware of in your psyche, you feel stuck because your conscious mind, right? And this is the breakdown now that we're going to dive into and what's happening. Your conscious mind, this is your awareness. This is what you are aware of, right? So when you are setting an intention or a goal, you want to lose weight, you want to manifest a new job, whatever it is, when you want to manifest a soulmate, you are setting that from this, right? From your conscious mind. So here, with your 10%, you are feeling good. You feel good. You feel motivated. You're lit. You are lit up. You're excited, maybe, yeah? About this new goal. New goal. Can you see that in the camera? Yeah. So, your conscious is this, right? You're feeling good, you've set a new intention, you're like, I'm going to lose weight by this date by doing these things, and you're getting your action plan ready and all of this fun stuff. Great. Using 10% of your brain, amazing. Why do you get stuck? Why then all of a sudden when you start on this journey, at some point along the way, your mind starts to kick in with fears, with doubt, with overwhelm, with procrastination, where you suddenly stop yourself from doing the things that you said you were going to do. It's because you're only using 10% of your brain. What did you expect? Your results are also going to be 10%, right? So you might have done up until that 10% how much the conscious brain can actually take you, but the moment that you reach that 10% threshold, you're going to hit a wall. That's where you feel this stuckness. Now, to get over that wall is what we're going to be talking about here in the unconscious. And I said, stuck is your subconscious triggering your unconscious plus your conscious knots. Now, what are knots? Before we dive into the subconscious and the unconscious, I want to go into the knots. Now, when I say subconscious and unconscious, they are the same, so I don't want you to get confused. The only reason I put it this way is because your subconscious is the seat. It's the storage, the storehouse of, obviously, all your subconscious thoughts, which are unconscious to your conscious mind. And this is what you need to understand, where this is the house, this is the thing. This is triggering both this and this within you. You're knotting, right? Because what your knots are, you have unconscious knots, and you have, what are knots, first of all? It's like braids or tangles. Knots can be emotional. Knots can be emotional, mental, physical, all sorts of knots. Trauma, beliefs, memories, stories, thought processes. These are all knots that get tangled up in our heads, right? And we identify with these knots as ourselves. And if you've watched one of my previous videos of Know Yourself or Be Yourself, you'll know that we are the soul, and we're not supposed to be identifying with the knots as being us, right? We can remove them and change them if we know, number one, what is lying under the subconscious and in this 90%, which is a gift in itself. This is my gift. This is what I do really well, and how I can easily see into people what your subconscious is, what your fears are, what your blocks are, and how to remove them. So if you're not doing the 90% of the work, you're only going to get 10% results. You want the 100% results, you combine these two together, there's your manifestation, there's your unstuckness, right? So, how do you do this? Let's get into it. Like I said, these knots have to be cleared out, because with the subconscious, it works like a storage place, I told you. So if you've got storage, imagine you're going on a suitcase to a holiday, destination, dream destination, and you have all of these old clothes in here already, okay, because the way you can program your subconscious mind, but if you're only rewiring and you're putting in good shit, you're putting in from the conscious all this good stuff, affirmations, you're doing reprogramming, you're doing hypnosis, you're doing subliminals at night, but you haven't got space in here, because all of this old knotting is still in that storage bag. So you're just piling new beliefs on top of the old storage system. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to explode, or it's just not going to work, because the dominant one, the biggest item in here is going to be taking up most of the space, right? Say you've got like a big box of shoes and you've put it in a box, and that box is hoarding up most of the space in there. That's going to be the ruler of that entire suitcase. That's your subconscious mind. That's how it operates. So if you have a massive, gigantic thing taking up all of that space in your subconscious mind, that's the dominant force, the dominant memory, the dominant belief that is going to be running your life. That's a lot of information. Just digest this for a second. Your dominant vibration, your dominant actions, your dominant goals that you actually achieve are based off of what you have going on in your storage system of your subconscious or unconscious mind. And when you are not clearing out these knots, emotional knots, mental knots, physical knots, these can be as minute as like a 5% injury to yourself mentally, or a big traumatic event of like 100%, right? it can cover all of these. And this is the layer we want to be moving into a clean luggage that looks like this, and with maybe a few bits. And you can add to that from your rewiring. When you move from this to this, that's the transformation you are wanting to get unstuck. Now, this can happen in micro doses and macro doses, and let's just explain that. So I just want you to hopefully understand, and comment below if you've got this. You are stuck because your subconscious is triggering both of these, conscious and your unconscious, knotting. And if you are not dealing with the knotting, you're not clearing it out, you're just letting it sit in there, and you're constantly repeating the same cycle, the same stories. I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. Who am I to do this? Oh, I can't go on, whatever. I can't run because of. All those excuses are keeping this luggage, this storage system, running the exact same way. But we need to create change to get you to actually get unstuck. Okay, so I hope you are getting this, guys. I'm very excited because I feel like nobody's explaining this stuff, and everybody's walking around like very confused as to why they're not manifesting things or whatever. And it's like, you can manifest while you're stuck too, because I've managed to do it, and there's a system and a process, and I'm going to be sharing that in all my videos. So if you haven't already, subscribe and like this video if you're here and stayed this far. And let's move to what you can start doing now to unstuck these knottings, okay? Let's get into the luggage shifting. Okay, so what happens is when you are moving from, when you start to do the work on feeling stuck to clarity, because this is what you're missing, right? Clarity. And when you do this transition, what's happening is you're moving away from limiting beliefs to surrender and trust. What do I mean by this? Okay, when you start to do the work, first of all, the only way to move from this stuckness is being aware of you having a problem in the first place, right? Instead of saying, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck. Now that you have this information, if you're coming across this video, you can now have this newfound awareness of, oh, so I need to stop telling myself that I'm stuck. First place to start, right? Because if you are feeding, your conscious mind is the feeder. It feeds the information to the subconscious, okay? If you are feeding your subconscious, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, it's going to stay on that loop. So in order to shift out of that, the first thing that you want to be making is a decision to not be stuck, so that you feed that information to the subconscious brain, okay? And that starts with a decision. So the decision leads to an intent or intention. And that intention will lead to your soul giving you some sort of inspired action. I'll give you an example of this in a minute. And when you trust this is where the surrender and trust comes in. When you trust this inspired bit of action, you do it, it will lead to results of some sort, okay? And result is basically manifestation or progress. If you've not yet reached the entire goal, you'll get some sort of progress, but it will move you away from stuck and into clarity, and then you'll be able to move forward and gain momentum, and that is what you're wanting. So when it comes to this, right, with the surrender and trust, when you start working on your subconscious mind, you're going to be clearing out the limiting beliefs, because the subconscious mind is a storage house for your limiting beliefs, your thoughts, your identity. Everything gets collected there. So the moment that you make a decision, this one decision of, I'm not stuck, and you're just saying, even in the intention of, I am getting clear. I'm getting clear on what is holding me back. That can be so powerful, just you setting that intention of not just being on autopilot saying, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, and just saying out loud or in your head, that's it, I'm making a firm decision that I'm going to gain clarity. I don't know how. You don't worry about the how. That's the universe's job, or God or source or whatever you believe in, to bring that information to you. And this is where the surrender and trust comes in, because when you set an intention, you are sending out a vibrational frequency to the universe, right, out there. The universe will bring in something for you to receive. This can be information, this can be a thought, this can be an idea, this can be a person, this can be an opportunity. And if you are blocking, because it's another skill to also be in receiving energy, and I'm going to do an entirely different video on this, but for now I just want you to get what you have to do. In order to receive the information, for you to take inspired action, you need to receive. So there's an injection here that happens where you are receiving, and I like to call them downloads. Now this is like a sudden insight. It can be a flash of lightning type, a flash of ideas or idea, flash of opportunity, whatever that thing is, it will just come to you. It won't be from your own mind. It will come to you as inspiration. And that will guide you into some form of action. It always does, right? That's the feminine is the receiving, the inspired action is the masculine. And this is where you will suddenly get the results. But a lot of people will set the intention and then they'll block themselves from receiving the download. And so then they go back into the cycle of stuckness because they're like, this shit doesn't work, because they did the decision making, they did the intention, but then they forgot to open themselves up to receiving and being in surrender and trust, and then they block themselves from receiving and the inspired action. This is an important chunk, the feminine and the masculine, of getting yourself unstuck and getting yourself into clarity. Now, an example of this I can give you is I was really stuck with, before I manifested my soulmate, actually, I was just stuck in life. I just felt stuck, right? Because my subconscious was holding on to all of this shit and all this baggage and garbage from my childhood, growing up with an abusive, like all the toxic stuff, right? So I just kept attracting that into my life. And I made a decision. This is where I made that decision. Set the intention. I am no longer settling for less than what I deserve. And I'm going to do what my heart wants me to do right now. I'm not going to be stuck anymore in this life. That one intention gave me a download, book a psychic reading. That was it. I did not rush this process. It was 2 weeks. I set the intention, 2 weeks. It took 2 weeks for me to receive this insight and this download. Okay, but had I blocked myself off, I would have not received that insight of book that psychic. And I could have easily, again, blocked the inspired action by going, oh no, I don't believe in psychics. I'm not going to do that. But I listened, because intuitively, you have to listen to your intuition. You have to learn that. You have to understand that about yourself and the universe if you want to co-create and create the best life, right? So I listened to that intuition. I took inspired action. I booked a psychic session. The results of that were getting told that I had the gift myself, starting up my own line business, manifesting a soulmate, all of that because of this one decision. That's how powerful this shit can be if you apply it. And I do this over and over again, you guys. This is not just with my soulmate. I literally do it with my business. Like, even with this whiteboard teaching, I was just like, I'm stuck. And I was like, no, Janie, you're not stuck because you know the process. Okay, how can we get clarity? Right, intention. I only want to create content from my heart and my soul. I'm fed up with all this, like, BS that's all over the social media stuff with all these gurus saying, you have to do thumbnails like this, you have to do this like this, you have to do a script. And I'm like, I'm not scripting shit. Like, my stuff is channeled live, like you're watching right now, from the universe. Why should I have to script? That shit stops my flow. Like, I'm not doing that. It's a psychological thing, but I'm not there to do that for people. I'm here to just spread my truth, help whoever needs to be helped, and that's what I'm going to do. I set that intention, okay? And then I waited. This was a longer delay, three weeks, I think it was, before I received the download and the insight of whiteboard. And then I took inspired action, bought a whiteboard. The result is progress now into a new style of teaching. But I feel not stuck. I feel very clear. I'm crystal clear. This is the process, you guys, okay? If you are liking this video, please like it, subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm going to do so many more videos on this type of stuff. You will get unstuck if you follow this, I promise you. If you're someone watching this and you're like stuck on your purpose and things like that, I have a free purpose finder, you can grab it below. And if you're a spiritual entrepreneur and you don't know what kind of products and things you're going to do, or what you're here to create, again, I have a spiritual business archetypes download that you can get as well for free below. But other than that, if you're stuck on anything else, this works like a charm. You can literally apply it to any area of your life, and I promise you it will work. If you don't know anything about your subconscious and how to rewire that and how to program it, and also how to declutter it and how to get rid with all the decisions and the processes, then I'm going to be doing another video on that. So again, make sure you're subscribed. I will catch you in the next video, and I hope this was helpful. Comment below if you loved it and if you are here right to the end. Mwah.